Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on fam here on a Wednesday. Because let's head down to our friends down in Geelong in particular. Because heading to speak with the South Barwon Football Netball Club Netball Premiership team, of course, who won the E Grade Premiership in the Geelong Football Netball League, and of course we got one of those particular players that was part of it. Her name is Emma right now. Thanks, Em, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Lovely to be here.
Worries. Well, I know it was about almost 3 months ago, coming up this weekend since that grand final. Tell us a bit about the day.
Yeah, well, the day was spectacular. The year was interesting. But yeah, I guess that kind of gives a bit of the background in terms of the season. It was a real contest to get to the grand final. And to be honest, I think a lot of us were pretty surprised that we made our way to the grand final, but it was our goal. It was one of our top goals as a team. And yeah, we were probably fighting it between, four or five teams to get to the top. And the team that came runners up this year, they were top of the ladder the whole way through the season and only lost one game. So for us to, work towards our goal and then to come across that team that hadn't lost except for one. So on the day we were probably going in as the big underdogs, not knowing whether we could make it or not. And I think they may have gone in thinking we've got this. We've bet them. I think we played them three times or twice in the season and lost all of those games. So yeah, once we kind of got that game started, and in the first quarter we're up by one, we kind of just went, all right, we've got to keep working towards this. And each quarter we worked our way and continued to stay on top each quarter, and came away with the win. So I can go into more details, but it was a spectacular day for our team in particular anyway.
So, was there any moment in the grand final that you felt comfortable enough to enjoy the moment?
I think so, but also probably wasn't until the very last quarter. So each quarter that we got to, the first quarter we were up by one. And yeah, we just knew we had to just reset and not know, not just be like, okay, we're up here, we're going to win. We knew we had to start each quarter again as if we were back at zero. And so it wasn't really until the very last few minutes that we could actually enjoy the game and know, okay, I think we've got it here. Because Leopold, who's the team we played, are a really strong team and they could have easily come back at any point of the game. It was really that last minute that we went, okay, I think we're right here. And we did win by, I think it was 6 goals at the end. So we're definitely able to enjoy it by that point.
Was it a relief or a celebration once that final whistle blew for full time for the season?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's definitely relief, which is a crazy thing to think, isn't it? It was also a celebration, of course. That we actually did work as a team to get there because it wasn't just one player that won the game. It really did feel like every single player made the game, made the win, really. But it was, I think, a relief that we didn't stuff up and that that we kept going and that we didn't let them get in front of us. So there was definitely a great relief at the end.
Talk a bit about who got to hold the cup first.
I don't know. It might have been the captains, I believe.
I'm assuming you got a chance to hold the cup eventually once.
I did. Yeah, no, definitely did. And I've got two daughters, and my eldest daughter was there with me, and she even got to see the cup. We enjoyed a drink in the cup as well at the end.
I'm assuming you got a chance to drink out of the cup and kiss the cup at any stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now the medals as well. How long did you wear your medal around your neck for, and did you sleep with it?
Oh, yeah, we definitely had our medals on for quite a few days. The grand final was on the day before the grand final, the AFL grand final. So we got to celebrate that whole weekend. So me personally, I had mine on. I did take it off at night time. I have to apologize to my teammates, but yeah, I did keep it on. But yeah, only when we were celebrating, and yeah, I didn't sleep with it. So yeah, but no, it was, yeah, it's still hanging up, somewhere where I can see it. Yeah. And that's what, 3 months on.
Did you get a chance to bite on your medal? And if so, was it pure gold on the day?
Oh, it definitely felt like it was pure gold on the day, that's for sure. Yeah, yeah, sure did. And yeah, I think we got many group photos with us all, biting onto that carrot. So yeah, we I'd say yes.
Then has the premiership sunk in yet? 3 months on.
Uh yes, for me personally it has. Yeah, it really has. And I think probably part of the hard part of winning a premiership is that the next day you do kind of get ready for the next year and you're starting all over again. So I definitely appreciate that there is a bit of I don't know if it's a grieving or like a bit of a hangover after the premiership, that you're like, oh, it's also a bit sad because you've got to go again. It's not like you keep winning each year. You've got to work hard. Um, so yeah, I think it definitely has, and we've already started training and pre-season and trials for 2025. Um, so yeah, there's that kind of sadness that I'm potentially not playing with the same team anymore, but yeah, just the achievement that we did was so great, and we were the only ones that won in the netball club as netballers. So yeah, it's a good feeling to know that we at least won.
So for you, how did you get involved in netball? As serious as that question sounds, and what does playing for South Barwon mean to you?
I'm actually an older player. So I've been nearly playing for 30 years. And so I started when I was 9. And it was just through school that was introduced to play. And thankfully, there were a few mums that were happy to coach some of the netball teams. And yeah, I think sport to me has always been a real big part of my life. Um, and clubs in particular too, they can become a really good part of your life and a real, nearly like family in some ways. Like, I guess a tribe is how I look at them. So it's been quite a while since I've played back in a football netball club, and to come across South Barwon, I feel really grateful and very lucky. I don't know any different in terms of other Geelong clubs, but from what I've heard, they're a really, really well-knit community. They support each other so much in and outside of the sport. Um, and there's a lot of players that have played since juniors. So, that could be, nearly 10 or plus years when you start from juniors and keep playing on to seniors. And then they've had some players that have gone on to play for Australia. And so, yeah, it's a really healthy, strong club. And part of that's because of, yeah, the community and the coordinators and the tribe and how they've built that. Yeah, so they've meant a lot to me. And even this year, it's been a bit of a tough year personally, and sports being the one that's kind of got me across the line and being a good thing to have outside of my personal life. Yeah, so the club's meant a lot this year. Yeah.
Are you hoping to go like high into the higher grades at South Barwon?
Yep. So it's a bit of a hard decision to make at the time, to be honest. So even going back a little bit, Will, to explain to your listeners a bit more about it, is that at the very start of the season, I actually didn't try out. I wasn't going to play, not because I didn't want to, it was just circumstances. And then I thought, no, you know what? I've got to get back into the community, and South Barwon's a great club. So I asked if I could volunteer. if I could score maybe, or worst case or best case, if there was a position to play, which I knew was also not the done thing, because we're already 2 or 3 games into the season. So that's really not a way to get in. Usually you have to try out before playing. So I spoke to the coordinators about, the work, that maybe I could just volunteer if I couldn't play. And I was very fortunate, and another player was unfortunate that she became injured, and they did need an extra player to commit through the season until she was able to play again. So previously I'd played for D grade, but this player was from E grade. And so they put that forward to me and said, would you be willing to play E grade and play, as a bit of a fill-in, so to speak. So I said yes, because I just wanted to get back in and play. And it was probably one of the greatest decisions I made, because I just had fun. I just went and played, and I had fun with the girls. I didn't take it too seriously. And to be honest, I think that's partially why we even made our way to the grand final, because we had that as a goal. But, we also had fun along the way, and our team really bonded. Even though we might have had a bit of a fickle year, we worked out and got there in the end. And so then I had the decision of, do I play higher or do I play E grade when we were coming into grand finals? Because I'd actually qualified for D grade as well as E grade. And we both made the finals, but D grade wasn't looking like they would make the finals. So I had to make that decision. Do I play with E grade or D grade? And usually I would definitely say D grade, because you want to play higher. But something was telling me, yeah, don't you? And then I was like, but something was telling me I've worked so hard with these girls in E grade the whole season, and we've really worked really hard to get where we are, because at the end of the season we were second on the ladder. D grade was fifth on the ladder. So it just felt a bit like I've come all this way, and I've wanted to play just to kind of get back into it. I wasn't wanting to, play anything, like A grade or anything like that at the time. So anyways, I've decided that I'd just retrial and say, look, it's up to you guys where I should play. Because a lot of people thought, oh, you should play higher. Just because I was playing quite well, like fairly good netball, and I was really enjoying myself. And yeah, I've been picked for the D/C grade squad for next year. So yeah, I think usually I would, but I'm also getting nearly to 40. So your body's not as it was. So I'm happy to play whatever they put me in, and I'm still going to work hard. I'm kind of all or nothing. But yeah, I've really also enjoyed my time down in E grade, even though it might not sound like it's great netball. It's still really high quality netball. I wouldn't dismiss it being E grade, if that answers the question in a long-winded way.
Considering that now you're in pre-season already, I guess how can people get down to South Barwon and still get involved if they can't do it in a playing capacity, even though you've just done it yourself? You've done it as the season's already underway, which is an amazing achievement. Which obviously I'm going to say that's almost like the comeback player.
Yeah.
How can people get involved in netball down in South Barwon?
Probably a good question, one that I might not know the exact details, only because I'd probably suggest heading to the coordinators if you're wanting to actually play. But there's always volunteering opportunities, and the door's always open, I believe, at the moment with pre-season training. So they are currently running those on Tuesday nights. So I don't think anyone would be opposed to, someone coming potentially. Um, but yeah, I think it's about just reaching out to the community and seeing what's available, because I can't always have something open, especially my circumstance was very rare. It feels like it was honestly meant to be. Like I literally asked that question about volunteering or playing, and then 2 weeks later they had the coaches saying we actually need players um, to make sure that we can get through the season. Um, so I feel very lucky with the way I've kind of got back into the club. But yeah, we're always looking for volunteers too. If anyone feels that, that drive to join the club in different capacity.
Finish with a couple light-hearted questions about the team, which is who was the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer in your E grade team?
So our comedian's probably, I'd say Jess. She's always, quite funny and very witty. And then also I might give that to Tess as well. She's, very, very funny, and it's probably accidental more so than comedic. The best dancer, I might even give it to myself, but no, it's probably, who would be good? Probably, for some reason, Maddie's coming up in my mind, one of our wing defenses. She's great. And then the other question was, it was singing, wasn't it? Yeah, who's the best singer? Oh, maybe we'll go with Sophie. I'll throw Sophie in there. Give it to Soph.
Do you have a pre-game superstition, ritual, or routine?
I do, yes. I think everyone, whether they know it or not, has one. Mine's a bit random. I actually put a tissue in my, have to have a tissue in my bra as a backup just in case I need it.
Okay.
That's a bit random, but it does feel like something I have to do. And yeah, just even the preparation of putting on, like I wear ankle braces and things like that. So make sure that I have all those on. Like if I didn't have them on, I'd feel like it was, superstitious that I didn't do that thing and then I get injured or we lose. And yeah, that were the only two ones that came to mind. Right now.
And the last one is who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this past season, and any embarrassing or funny moments that happened like during the celebrations?
I can't think of one during the games. I know it's a couple of one of the girls has got a homemade tattoo kit. So I don't know if that's so there was a few girls that got their 24 tattooed on them as a bit of a celebration. And yeah, there was just one girl that was missing for a whole day pretty much because she just was too unwell to come back to any of the functions, sadly. Yeah.
In the official team photo that you did
Mhm.
after the game, after the obviously the Premiership Cup was aloft and all that, and obviously got your medals.
Mm.
Did you do a funny team photo on the?
Yeah, we did like a silly photo. I don't know if we caught that on the actual podium. Um, but yeah, we did do one or two. I think one might have been with the cup and the champagne and and yeah, another one just being silly with all of us. And a couple of us had our kids involved too, which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Emily, thank you so much for giving some of your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. And obviously, congratulations on winning the Premiership for South Barwon. And hopefully, next year in 2025, for you, hopefully, you can make it back to back.
Yeah.
Obviously, and doing it in two different divisions or two different grades, I should say.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I hope the club has another successful year and that we, get a few more teams across the line. But yeah, it's been a pleasure.
No worries. And that's Emily joining us there from the South Bowen Football Netball Club, because winning the Geelong Football Netball League E-grade netball premiership about 3 months ago against, of course, Leopold in that grand final on grand final eve. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away. Here on the 10th year celebration.